First of the 4 exercises for grade 6 is about cross string trills. Make sure you use one of the 2 fingerings that are given. I tend to prefer A, M, I, P. I'll demonstrate very slowly. We go A. Immediately drop the middle finger back onto string 1, stop it sounding. The upper of the 2 notes should be cut off so that it doesn't over-ring. So we get... That's very quick, a little slower, a little faster. So you see I'm cutting the sound of the top string off. If I let it over-ring, we get that which we don't really want. So we stop it sounding like that. That's how we should do it anyway. Cross-string trill can be very effective. Here's an example of its use at the beginning of a piece of Bach. It's the Allemande from Violin Partita number 1. The second of the 3, not 4, exercises from the technical suite, Crystal Clear, is about harmonics in chords in thirds, artificial harmonics and chords in thirds. And we get the artificial harmonic in the usual way, demonstrated on string 2 by touching the string lightly at the 12th fret, or 12 frets above where you're fingering it, in the case of fingered notes, and playing with the annular finger. At the same time, the middle finger's got to play an adjacent note on the next string down. So for the very first chord that you're playing, the annular and the middle are just playing a chord like that, a B and the G, and the index finger is touching at the 12th fret. So we get harmonics, harmonic on the top one sounding like that. Because of the added complication of having to find frets with both hands, I would try and get this particular exercise without the harmonics first, until the left hand knows precisely what it's doing. So I play it simply without harmonics. Right, at this point, bar 3, I make a fingering change here, not 1 and 3, which involves an extra shift. Simply bring 2 and 4 over, means you don't have to shift the hand again, and then come down with the second finger. Right, for this next chord, bar 5, we're going to get the G on the bottom of that chord on string 2. Now that's at fret 8, and I'll get that with the 3rd finger. You don't actually have to, although obviously when you're playing it without the harmonics it won't come out right, but you don't actually, when you do it with the harmonics in both of those chords in bar 5 sounds without actually fingering it with the left hand. So you get the B on string 1, the D on string 3, without actually doing any fingering on the left hand. So just putting the harmonics in on those for the moment, we can get away with the 3rd finger just being at the 8th fret for the G, and no other fingers need to be down. And then for the next chord, we simply put the 4th finger down on string 4 for the B, and we don't need to finger the 3rd string. So we can get that like that. Makes that a little bit easier because you don't have to actually finger both notes, and then we can get smoothly down to the A and the F sharp. A little bit, there we go. Let's go back to doing it. without the and now the third finger can guide up here to the F sharp, and then we can get this next one in the same way. We don't actually need, we can use a fourth finger if you like, or come up with a third finger. We don't actually need to finger the B, of course, when you play it, not when you're playing it as a harmonic, because it comes out anyway. And then the last little bit. We're going to get the thumb and finger playing the last chord there. It's the only instance where the middle finger's not playing the lower note, it's the thumb. Okay, so putting it all together. Finger there. Okay, sorry, not very well played because actually just like reading it. Okay, and the last of the three exercises, mellow, is about full barre and syncopation. It's fairly straightforward, but while you're figuring out all the fingering and the syncopation, seeing as a full barre is a bit strenuous, I would adopt the no pressure technique, where you're having putting the left hand fingers in place, but without pushing down. So you'll be practicing it like. And so on. Okay, until you're familiar with the fingering. And then putting it all together. And that completes the technical suite for grade 6.